Boston, 1773. Winter air. A harbor under gray sky. Everything feels tense, like the city is waiting to snap. Cold wind cuts through empty docks. Lanterns flicker. Quiet doesn't mean safe. Quiet means something is being held back. Ships sit in the water like dark silhouettes, heavy, still, and full of consequences no one wants to say out loud. Because this isn't just trade, it's control. An empire deciding what you buy, what you pay, and what you accept. And in Boston, acceptance has a limit. People don't explode all at once. They harden, slowly, until one night breaks the seal. Footsteps on wood, breath turning to fog, faces tucked into coats, everyone moving like they're trying not to be noticed. A small group gathers near the waterfront. No shouting, no banners, just quick glances and tighter grips. A signal passes, subtle, almost nothing. But in moments like this, almost nothing can change the world. People in the street pretend it's normal, but their eyes keep drifting toward the harbor, because the harbor is the center of the problem, and tonight the problem is about to become a message. Inside a ship's hold, stacked crates, official cargo, clean and ordered, like power always tries to look. Hands pry at a lid, wood creaks, a small sound, but it feels like a door opening in history. Tea, ordinary on the surface, but here it represents submission, paid for, enforced, and called law. A crate is dragged up to the deck, rope pulls tight, boots slide on cold planks, no one hesitates. From the dock, silhouettes watch, some shocked, some angry, some locked in that quiet look of finally. The first dump. Tea spills into black water. It spreads like ink, like a stain that refuses to disappear. Then another crate, another tear, another spill. The rhythm builds. Open, drag, dump, again and again. A loyalist tries to interfere, a hand raised, a warning, but the sea is already turning into evidence. No cheering, no celebration, just determined faces finishing the work like it's a duty. And then they vanish, slipping away into alleys and darkness before the city can fully wake up. The last movements happen fast, the job is nearly done, and time feels dangerously short. On the dock, people pull back, a child is guided away, fear moves through the crowd like cold water. A British patrol appears, redcoats, lantern light sweeping corners, the atmosphere instantly tightens. Those involved disappear into narrow streets, no hero poses, just survival and silence. The harbor tries to return to stillness, but the water says otherwise. The water keeps the secret. Morning arrives. Pale light reveals the mess. The deck is damaged. The calm is gone. The stain on the water is unmistakable. Proof doesn't need words when it looks like this. Workers stare. Sailors freeze. Not curiosity, panic, because someone is going to pay for this. In taverns and doorways, whispers ignite. One person says it, another repeats it. Now the whole city knows. In official rooms, it's not gossip, it's crisis. A direct challenge to authority, right at the docks. Loyalists gather, angry and alarmed. Clean colonial coats, tight faces. They call it destruction. They demand punishment. Two sides meet in the street, rebels and loyalists. Same city, different reality. The split becomes visible. British officers lean over maps, fingers tracing routes, planning control like you can pin down a city with ink. The hunt begins. Questions, searches, lanterns in faces. Everyone avoids eye contact. Everyone calculates risk. A notice appears, orders and warnings. You don't even need to read it to feel it. Consequences are coming. The harbor tightens. Work continues under watch. Every step feels monitored. Every movement feels heavier. At night, the tavern fills. Some talk money. Some talk fear. Some talk dignity, like it's the only currency left. A quieter meeting forms in low light. A simple table, a few faces, a shared understanding. This is only beginning. Elsewhere, loyalists form quiet alliances, handshakes, nods, private promises. Betrayal doesn't need a loud voice. Boston looks calm from the outside, but underneath, it's boiling. Winter cold on the surface, fire underneath.
And when a city boils like this, it only takes a spark to become a fire. Punishment comes fast. The port tightens, trade stalls, pressure rises. In ordinary homes, the question shifts from if to when, because now it isn't just tea in the sea, it's the crown on everyone's neck. Soldiers appear more often, harder stares, less patience. Loyalists and rebels start recognizing each other from the way they walk, speak, and go quiet. Some celebrate quietly, others count losses out loud. And every 10th city develops its worst habit, looking for someone to blame. The street becomes theater, everyone performing normal. But behind closed doors, the city is organizing its next move. Quiet meetings, low voices, names avoided. The word that starts spreading isn't protest, it's resistance. On the other side, the crown answers the only way it knows: force and example. More patrols, more searches, more fear of speaking too loud. And when speaking becomes dangerous, silence becomes a weapon. The city learns to communicate without exposure, signals, timings, locations. A messenger moves through narrow streets like he's carrying fire in his pocket. Everything seems small, but small things are how revolts begin. Because the night at the harbor did something irreversible. It took away the fear of acting. And when fear disappears, the empire loses half its control. The city's mood shifts. Even the air feels different. Now people watch every redcoat like they're counting footsteps. And loyalists realize the crowd may be quiet, but it isn't tame. A decision made in London meets an answer in Boston, and it doesn't go back. The harbor becomes a symbol, a place where the empire bled without spilling blood. And symbols are dangerous because they travel faster than armies. The story starts escaping Boston into other colonies, other streets. People who never spoke to each other start feeling like they're on the same side. And that's when the crown understands the real threat. It wasn't tea, it was unity. Repression tries to smother the spark, but it only spreads embers. Because when you close a port, you open a wound. And wounds make people remember, and anger make people act. Life continues, but with a layer of tension over everything. Footsteps get quicker, conversations get shorter, because everyone feels the next moment will be bigger than the last. And the scariest part is this: nobody knows where it ends. One night at the harbor became a point of no return, and the old world starts to crack, slowly, like thin ice. The city goes quiet, but now it's the quiet of decision. Because after this night, Boston won't just obey, Boston will answer.